A very good morning to one and all. With the blessings of the Almighty and our beloved founder chancellor, Colonel Dr. J.P.R. Sir, we've all gathered here virtually for celebrating the World Water Day, organized by the Center for Ocean Research, jointly with the Center for Remote Sensing and Geoinformatics and Department of Civil Engineering in association with the Earth Science and Technology Cell, Ministry of Earth Sciences, and with the IUCN Commission on Ecosystem Management. On behalf of the Center for Ocean Research, I take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to our patrons and our higher management, Sathyabama Institute of Science and Technology, for their constant support, guidance, and encouragement in all our activities. Now it's time to get into our technical session for today. We have with us today Dr. R. Saravanan, Associate Professor, Center for Water Resources, Anna University. Before getting into the technical session, I would like to introduce our speaker. Dr. R. Saravanan, Associate Professor, holding a PhD in Groundwater Modeling and Management at Center for Water Resources, Anna University, Chennai, India, is also an adjunct faculty in the Center for Climate Change and Disaster Management, Anna University, Chennai, India. He is a civil engineer, a specialist in hydrology and water resources engineering. He has more than 20 years of experience in teaching, research, and consultancy work in the field of water resources engineering. His PhD was on optimization of pumping well location for containment and remediation of contaminant plume using genetic algorithm. He has completed more than 40 numbers of research and consultancy projects as a principal investigator as well as co-investigator. He has evaluated and provided a guideline for Tamil Nadu development of rural development for renovation of Urani. He is a resource person in sustainable water resources management, groundwater assessment and management, rainwater harvesting, water distribution network, evolutionary algorithms, and their applications to water resources engineering. He has published 47 research articles at the national and international levels. He has presented many research papers at the national and international levels too. Also, he has developed a case study material for the program on integrated water resource management and gender and water in South Asia, funded by the Netherlands government. He is also a reviewer for several peer-reviewed international journals related to water resources engineering. He has guided 1 doctoral research scholar and currently guiding 7 of them. Also, he has guided 55 postgraduates, 10 undergraduates, and 3 overseas internship students for their thesis. He has received the Indian National Academy of Engineering Fellowship in the year 2009. He has visited several countries, including USA, United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, Sweden, Sri Lanka, and Nepal as a part of faculty exchange programs and for presentation of papers and attending them. Thank you, sir. We are pleased to have you with us today. Looking forward to the technical session. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
So first of all, thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for accepting our invitation and being here today, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Can I switch off my video?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can start screen share. Okay.
So, first of all, let me thank Dr. Bhagyalakshmi, that Inbakandan, for inviting me to deliver a lecture on the occasion of World Water Day to commemorate. And special word to Bhuvneshwari for the kind words that she has introduced to me. Of course, I cannot deny certain things. So one such request normally will come from Dr. Bhagyalakshmi. Being my student, I cannot refuse always, right? So the last time actually she requested and I said I am not available at the time. So she said that I want to book you on World Water Day. So I said, okay, next time I will definitely make it actually. So definitely we are for certain peoples actually. With this introduction, of course, I have a lot of connection with Sathyabama. I have a close connection with Sathyabama and the St. Joseph Institute in different aspects in terms of academics as well as research board and so on. So it's also a kind of my neighbor, right? So I frequently visit Sathyabama. So I will not deny most of the requests from the Sathyabama University. So with this request, let me begin my presentation. I hope so. This the series of webinars is organized to commemorate the World Water Week, if I'm right. Yes, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
right. So I don't know how many of you are aware the World Water Day, how it is started, and who has started actually, right? Who has started and how it is originated. Let me put 2 to 3 minutes of giving a glimpse of the World Water Day, how it is originated in the world. And maybe you are all not, maybe you are aware now, the Sweden is one of the best country, beautiful country in the world, right? It's one of the Scandinavian country, right, in the world, and maybe the happiest index, if you find out the living people's happiest index, Sweden, Netherlands, Finland, so many things will be coming to picture. But if you take 10 decades before, maybe 100 years before, 1886 and something like that, one of the worstest country to live in the world is Sweden, actually. One of the worstest countries to live in the world is Sweden, actually. It consists of nearly 19 islands, where peoples were, most of their fishermen and things like that. They had to sail from one island to other island by only the boats and things like that, actually. In those days, they are not that much technologically equipped, and people have started polluting all other resources, namely land and other things, water resources actually. So maybe in the global perspective, they found that Sweden is one of the worst country to live. Then it made them to think over and how to bring back the city, right, the city to the livable city actually. So then onwards, they took a pledge actually. They took a pledge to regenerate all their water bodies and the lands and the total urban environment. They made it very perfect, and there is no illegal disposal and something like that. They brought back the country in 1950 and after is one of the most beautiful country in the world. That means from worst place to the best place they made it actually. Then they were showcased to the world actually. They were showcased to the world that it is one of the best places. I hope so. Bangladesh also attended the World Water Week in Sweden, right? So,
Yes, sir, yes.
right. So to commemorate this only, normally the first initiative taken by the Sweden government, it's celebrated in Stockholm, and generally the Stockholm water prize is also considered to be one of the Nobel Prize in water sector, which is equal to other discipline like your physics or other sector, which will be celebrated in the Prentice Hall of Stockholm, where normally all the Nobel laureates will be receiving the medals actually. So which is located in Stockholm, that one Prentice Hall. So being the pioneer in regenerating all the water bodies, they initiated this movement, water movement, and they were the front runner for the world. And they started 1976 itself as a World Water Week actually. That was the first World Water Week.
Sir, every year, August month, they are celebrating World Water Week, right,
Yeah.
sir? They are conducting conference, 1 week conference, and then there only
September.
Stockholm.
September.
2011 we visited.
Yeah, you are right. I think you are. We were there actually. So then onwards, every year they will they started organizing the World Water Week, and later on, the other parts of the country they started organizing the World Water Week in several places like Europe and other places. Whereas India also, we have started commemorating this World Water Day after 2010 only. After 2010 only, we have started commemorating. Before that, we never had a World Water Week. But of course, the Singapore World Water Week also is the famous one. So this is a history of what I'm trying to say here is that the background of the World Water Week, how it started. So it's basically to clean up the city and make the livable city. That is the motto of the World Water the Week actually. So with this background, let me share my screen. Can you allow
Yes,
me
sir.
to
Yes,
share
sir.
the
Yes,
screen?
sir. Yes, sir. You can. You can.
No, host is not allowing.
Sir, Inbakandan, sir, unmute.
Host
Vinith and Bhuvaneshwari.
Yes, sir. Yes. Just
Yeah, allow sir. Yeah.
Can I now?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you try it now, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, please. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Well, my screen
Slide,
is.
yes.
Yes, sir. It
Slide.
is completely visible. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, a very good morning to all the participants and the learned faculty members at the online meeting. My topic of presentation today is water management and critical issues and strategic options for sustainable development. My presentation, the content goes like this. The importance of water, critical issues and strategic option, and what is meant by water management, and the type of water management is available or which is being currently being in practice, and some of the case studies which we have carried out as part of the water management, and finally conclusions. Right. So 4 decades before, right, 4 decades before, the peoples were fetching water and they were taking water from far away distance to their house, and they know the importance of water, even drop of water actually. Now the peoples are getting water, just opening a tap and they are getting water. They don't know even the drop of water how much is precious actually. So therefore, the importance of water need to be realized by the public and by several ways in terms of public awareness and education and so many other things actually. And if you see here, the importance of water, the global water, this is a globe, and you can see that all the earth water, that is the ocean water, groundwater, polarized water, caps, river, and lakes. If you include all the water which is available in the earth, and the diameter of the, if you make it as a cylinder or the sphere, the diameter will be 80-60 miles. You just multiply with the 2.54 is a 1.56 is a in terms of kilometer to convert. So much of a kilometer is the diameter of the total water available in the earth, but which includes all the oceans water actually. But all the earth, all of the earth liquid fresh water actually, in terms of groundwater, river, and lakes, and its diameter is only 170 miles. So it is almost 860. Here is only 170. But still, some of the waters are inaccessible for the day-to-day activities actually. All of the earth liquid surface fresh waters are the diameter is only 35, which is available in the river and lakes, and which we are enjoying maybe for the right from the human inception in the globe actually. And you must understand that how precious this water resources actually. Now, the other part of the importance of groundwater, sorry, the water source, we have, if you assume that the total water available in the world is 100%, nearly 97.5% is the salt water, only 2.5% fresh water. Within the fresh water, 80% will be approximately the glaciers, and 20% goes to the groundwater. Within that, you have lakes, rivers, and soil moisture. Then further, if you see water vapor and water in the rivers and living organisms, so we are enjoying the water only from the rivers and lakes actually. So you see that from 100% to, and if you see what is the meager amount that we are having and we are enjoying for so many years actually. If you think that the entire 97% of water which is available in the ocean is fresh water, is potable or in the drinkable format, then we never talk about the water source at all. Whenever any commodity or any resources become scarce, then only we'll talk about its importance actually. In such a way, the water source also is one of the scarce resources in terms of availability for the growing population and industrialization arena. Right. So this is the indicator. This is the indicator. The global per capita water availability. If you see here, all the California, the Canada people and South Africa, Brazil, they are rich in the water source. and even China, northern hemisphere also. But if India, almost we are in the stress to the scarcity zone. This is middle of Africa also, and certain portion of Europe also facing the stress actually, right? And generally, if you draw the equator line, along the equator only you find the water stress actually. Along the equator line only you find the water stress. Of course, here you find the California and Los Angeles and Denver. These are the areas. Basically, it is the dry area. Then this is the compost index of water available, and looking the raw threads to the water available across the globe. If you see, as I said, California and the central portion of Northern America and southern portion of Africa, sorry, Europe and UK and India and Southeast India and Australia, coastal belt of Australia and coastal belt of South America. These are all going to face the water, facing water stress in the years to come actually. But will it going to, is it going to be increasing trend or it is going to be reducing trend? That is a question mark. But due to the intervention of the technologies and the human interventions like construction of additional dams, canals, aqueducts and pipelines, and we have somehow we are managing the original stress condition to almost manageable condition actually. But still, the population growth is the one of the hidden threat actually. The demand is directly proportional to the industrialization as well as the population. Of course, the population growth is the main cause for all your food security, industrialization, and so many other commodity demands. Then the consumption of water actually. The consumption of water can be classified to two ways. One is the consumptive use, other one is a non-consumptive use. Suppose you have a glass of water and if you try to use it 50% or 70%, and if you are not using this remaining water, it goes as a waste. But the whatever you consume is 50%, right? Whatever you consume is 50%, right? This water is called as a consumptive, which is not available for the hydrological cycle immediately. What I meant to say here is that suppose this water you are drinking, and portion of water will be used for your blood cell, your body cell development. Or if you use this water for plant growth, not all the water is going to transpire. Most of the water will be used by the plant for photosynthesis as well as for the plant cell development. So that means that water will be available always with the plant as well as the human body cell until it lives. Once it dies, then it goes back to the hydrological cycle. So that means this is, as far as now is the time being is concerned, is called the consumptive, which is not readily available for the hydrological cycle, but it is part of the hydrological system actually. Therefore, it is very important to use the water judiciously without wasting. And maybe this is not this is not a new picture or future picture. It's already a picture which has been experienced by most of the northern India, like Gujarat and Rajasthan and so many other places. So kindly don't waste water. Whatever is possible, that only you pour in the glass and drink it. And see that when you keep your the glass as an empty glass wherever you go, you make it as a habit. Then, in terms of quality, though we have water, one glass of water, but if you try to pollute it, and still it is not usable for drinking, for agriculture, for industries, for any other purpose actually, for that matter. So what it means, though the water is available, it is not for any use. That means it is not available for the usage, which is also a kind of consumptive, or you have consumed actually. It is not available, but it is part of the hydrological system. But so this is what the present situation the world is facing. We had a water in rivers, lakes, and so many places, but we have started polluting all rivers, lakes, and most of the developing nations. We have started polluting the lakes and rivers. Now we are going with the technological measures to treat and drink it, like your desalination and your RO and primary treatment, tertiary, secondary treatment, tertiary treatment. So these are all, rather than eating straight away, we are eating rotating the hand across the head and eating. So if you make a a fair judgment on utilizing the water and keeping the water as a precious resource. And if you are make sure that you are not polluting unnecessarily, then the resource will be saved and water management becomes very easy actually. So therefore, don't pollute actually. Therefore, don't pollute. Now, this is the global domestic agriculture, industrial and domestic sector consumption. And this is one of the interesting the picture that you can see. And you can live in the world without car, without all gadgets, means all electronic item, all luxury items. But you cannot live without the water and food actually. And if you see here, India is almost 93% of or the water is being met for only agriculture purpose, and the domestic and industries are very less. And if you so-call the developing nations, developed nations, if you talk about Germany, USA, Europe, and UK, these are all the countries are highly developed in terms of technology, and you is rarely find two German to produce the food, but they have the industry is huge. Industry is huge. That means they are producing technology, they are selling to other part of the country, and they are taking the food from the countries like Southeast Asia. If you see here in this zone, the most of the water is being utilized only for the food production, and the Western countries are they enjoying the lifestyle by taking the food from us, and we are enjoying so-called the luxury lifestyle, taking the technology from the West actually. So there is an imbalance of usage of water. What I'm trying to say here is the importance of what is called the virtual water trade actually. And if you use 1 meter cube of water for producing the agriculture product, let us say paddy. If you use 1 meter cube of water, you can produce, let us say, 1000 kg of the grains, which cost nearly 10,000. But this German people or Western people will use the same 1 meter cube of water, and they will make the product, they will sell it for 25,000 or 50,000. So the same water being used for sold for 10,000, and here is for 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. So that means the water is made as the economic goods actually, right? What is used as economic good actually. We are underutilizing our water source in terms of economy. They are fetching more benefit from the same quantity of water from the Western countries actually. And this is one of the interesting cycle which indicates, and we think that the cutting trees and so many other things will have of course it has an effect. I'm not denying that, but eventually, if you see here, it's surprised to see that 80% of evaporation generally takes place from the ocean, and the rainfall which contributes on the globe is 80% from the ocean evaporated water only. But the 20% of precipitation only will be falling on the land, whereas 80% precipitation will be falling within the ocean itself. That means the evaporation will be 80% that is contributing to the formation of cloud is 80% from the ocean and 20% from the inland in the formation of the cloud. The same way, the precipitation also 80% within the ocean, only 20% within the land domain. So we need not much bothered about the rainfall pattern, because the evaporation is one of the important criteria for any hydraulic system to make the formation of cloud. And so being the ocean is the biggest one, it takes care of most of the evaporation, which try to adjust the hydrological cycle. But of course, we have erratic nature in nature. Now, the average rainfall of India, if you see, is 650 mm, and Tamil Nadu is almost 950, 900, and Chennai is 1200 mm. And so, if you talk about within India, and Chennai is of course, we are blessed with the huge quantity of water, but still we are talking about in summer water scarcity. But we are not supposed to say that, because Indian water average is only 650. We are receiving double. So something is the lagging, or it is being mismanaged. That is the point is coming to mind. So the harvesting this precious resources is very important. The keyword of sustainable water resource management may be either rainwater harvesting or harvesting the rainwater lakes and other resources. And if you are not doing these precious resources, and if you are not doing that, if not, then you have to depend on the technologies to convert all your the wastewater into the potable format. So this is a rainfall pattern across the globe. You can see, right? So right from January to December, and you can see the maximum precipitation almost like the equator. That's what I said. Across the whole, either the rainfall or the drought generally will take place in the near the equator actually. And if you see the water source of India, the Indian water source is estimated in 2008 as per the Central Water Commission, that is the Ministry of Water Resource, as 1123 kilometers cube, and out of the surface water, groundwater shares are given, and the demand in 2000 was given as 634. But don't think that there is a surplus water is available. But we have so many basins across the India, but this surplus is not available everywhere. Like Ganga, Brahmaputra, Yamuna, these are the rivers are having plenty of water, but other river basins are, except Kaveri, Krishna, right? Krishna and Godavari. These are the plenty of water is a surplus basin. The other basins are the water scarcity basin. That means though it look like the figure look like a surplus, but it on an average it's surplus for India. But unless otherwise, if you transfer the excess water to the deficit basin actually. And if you talk about the monsoon rainfall pattern, the India is, as already said, that Tamil Nadu is 9 at average. And this is a temperature of Tamil Nadu. Is you can see is almost 31.5 to 32.5, maybe over the period of 140 years, nearly 2 degree. 1.5 degree is the increasing temperature is observed, which has a lot of consequence on the water resource availability, which is a separate topic. Maybe I'll show you some of the glimpse of what is the impact of the temperature rise, nothing but the global warming and on the water resource actually. The total water surface available as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, we have 17 river basins, and we normally refer to you might have heard frequently 1 TMC. 1 TMC is 1,000 million cubic feet. That is 1 in 10 power 9, right? That is the unit. So normally we talk about in terms of TMCs actually. So in Tamil Nadu we have 17 river basins, and it is estimated as 850 TMC. And from all of the we have 39,000 tanks, which caters nearly 347 TMC, 79 reservoirs in terms of dams, 240 TMC, and the other state like a transfer, interbasin transfer, 261 TMC, and other storages which contributes to 2 TMC. And whereas the surplus of water from the 17 river basin goes to ocean without conserving as a 177 TMC. But the annual average potential is estimated as a 1643 TMC in 2001, but the demand is 192 MC. But there is a gap of 300 TMC in 2001 itself. But it is likely to exceed the gap of the TMC will exceed up to 57,000 in 2050 due to globalization actually. Due to the globalization. And this is the stage of groundwater development. That means most of the middle portion of Tamil Nadu is under the saline or overexploited region, and some portions of the like Kaveri and Tamaravari river basins are the safe zone. But Chennai also we have a R in our portal layer. Still we are in the critical or not safe to semi-critical. And this is the drought place in Tamil Nadu, and generally it is Ramanathapuram and Dharmaburi and other northwest of Tamil Nadu, and southeast of Tamil Nadu is generally excuse me, can you wait for 1 minute?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We will wait.
No problems.
I'm really sorry for the inconvenience.
No problem.
Right. So this is the drought portion of Tamil Nadu. And if you see here, the across the India, which is released by this Central Groundwater Board, and Punjab and a certain portion of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh is highly or overexploited because in 1980s the borewell concept came into picture, and the Punjab these wells were highly utilized by the borewell concept, and these are the highly exploited blocks as of now actually. So other portion of India are maybe semi-critical to the critical actually. Now, the various water users actually, if you see here, the irrigations are farmers and the water use and water users, and we use for domestic and by the local communities, and industries by the industries, and the recreational aspect generally for tourism. So without water, the tourism will never flourish actually. For example, if you think about Netherlands is meant for the tulips. So we have a lot of the canals and things like that. There is no water on the canal, there is no tulip. So if there is no trees on the Ooty or Simla, there is no snow on the Kulu Manali, then there is no tourism. So the water also plays an important role in the tourism development, which will give you the refreshing for the human health actually. And the other aspect, important aspect, the environmental flow. Recently, in the NWP, National Water Policy, in 1997 NWP, we never had the national environmental flow as one of the component, but in the 2015, when they revised, the environmental flow is one of the major or important or mandatory component that were included in the national water policy. So the importance of national water environmental flow in the national water policy is that if the river is not receiving, or it is not carries a minimum flow at least some portion of time in a year, the flora and fauna which is existing in the river system may disappear maybe over the period of time. So to ensure that the flora and fauna, which is the fundamentals of any ecosystem, to take care of those ecosystems, the minimum environmental flow must be ensured, so that all other ecosystem will be saved actually. So we are in the globe, or in the earth means we are not actually one. Our earth is, our life is actually originated from the microorganisms actually. So you must take care of the microorganisms. So for which you must ensure at least frequently there is a flow is available in the river system. That's why they made us important the agenda in the national water policy. And according to Karnataka and Tamil Nadu Water District also, they made it 1 TMC is the minimum environmental flow, and they're supposed to release till it reaches the Bay of Bengal. Then issues and challenges actually, right? So inadequate, we have inadequate legal frameworks and institutional frameworks. Like we have a surface water law and groundwater law, and the surface water right goes with the government. The groundwater law goes with the landowners actually. That is one of the drawback. And lack of decision makings and without pricing we are giving. So we think that the water is a free commodity, then it has to change. If you think that the water is given as a private sector, then we will use judiciously like your current bill or any other. Like how are you wasting the bottled water, can water? No, because we are purchasing. So once it is becoming as the commodity, then you can find the water conservation in a different perspective. Then private sector participation is also one of the important things. And the data on the quantity and quality, demand, climate is the lag actually. So fundamentally, most of the developing nations, they collect data and they will not properly store, and they will not properly manage it. And during the critical time when you want data, it will not be available. Even if it is available, it will not be available in the presentable format, or not useful for any decision making. That is one of the drawback. Then the population growth, as I said that. So new developing areas, one of the threat for any developing. If you say development, is the water actually. The change in land use and development strategies also plays a major role, and technological changes requires more water actually, right? More water. We talk about this technology consumes less water and so many things. However, any technology will consume water actually. but it's all technology only for the betterment of the human, the lifestyle. Then the environmental needs already we have discussed. Then the climate change is also one of the threat. Then the socio-economic condition actually, right? You must also think about socio-economic condition of the all sectors, human, in different perspectives. So it's one of the important aspect that one has to consider as a challenge when there is no water available. For example, if there is no water available in certain period of a place, there will not be grass. Then there will not be, the cattle cannot grass, it can't go for grazing, and the livelihoods will be affected. So the water is the primary source for any the kind of the livelihood of the human being actually. Now, as I said that the surface water law, if the water is flowing in the river, you can you can get into the river and you can take a bath, you can come out, but you can't put a pump and you can take the water, because the water right in the river and lakes goes with the government. It is not a private property, it is the government entity. Whereas the same river is available here, and if you have I have a nearby that you have a borewell, or you have your own land, agricultural land, for example, you have agricultural land here.
Sorry, sir, you can continue, sir.
The difference which is available, and the land right. Your ground rights goes with the land right, whereas your surface water right never goes with the land right. Then the population growth, if you see here, the China's almost they control, but India is again almost in the increasing trend, but still we are not on the declining trend. And if you see the world population, the size, the India and China are the global leader, our consumers. That's why we are the market actually. We are the market for most of the technology development. If the India and China is also a small country like Europe and other things, you cannot expect more technology development, because for the livelihood of all the small countries, they have to survive, for which they will develop technology. They will make it as a India and China as a market, and Indonesia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and so on. And it's the urban growth, urbanization growth across the world. And the US, America is the most urbanized region in the world as far as now, almost 82%, and followed by Brazil or South America, then Europe and Southeast Asia is 50%, and Australia is 68%, which indicates that the demand for water is going to be increased actually. Then the land is changed. If you come back to 2000 and 2010 in Chennai, and this is the green color indicates, thanks to my PhD scholar, and who has given me the output this short period of time. And the green is the green cover in 2000, and 2010 the green cover has almost reduced to 30 to 40% due to the urbanization. So if you find out for 20 and 30, maybe there is a change. Of course, we did it, and it is yet to be published actually. Then the impact of urbanization is the main reason is we are trying to pollute the river water system, and we are trying to pollute the groundwater system. These are the major two resources available for urban water supply. If you make these two as inaccessible in terms of quantity or quality, then you must depend on the desalination in the river course, in the ocean, or you must take the water from far away distance by means of pipeline, which will be economics is involved. The surface water pollution, again, as I said that the river is generally has a tendency to is the oxygen sac curve and recovery curve, and if you try to generally the DO level of any freshwater river system will be 8 to 9.2 ppm or milligram per liter is this, and the healthy ecosystem in a river system, if anything goes less than 2 ppm, there is a 2 milligram per liter below that, then the fishes and flora fauna will die. Then the system will be called as a dead system, and you must see that the river or lake system, the DO level should not go below a certain extent actually. But there is a nature gift. If you don't pollute certain period of time, it has a regenerating capacity. It will come back. It will bring back to the original shape. Till that you must wait. Otherwise, if you dispose if you dispose one more indices, if you propose one more indices here, then again the curve will be the decline like this. It will decline. Then the river system or ecosystem will become a dead ecosystem. This is one of the biggest the problem in the developing nations, especially in countries like India, China and other Southeast Asia. And groundwater, and if you see here, India is a pioneer in using the groundwater sources, and all other countries are using very less. And since we are using more groundwater, we are also polluting in terms of improper disposal of liquids as well as solid waste. Actually, it is extremely difficult to clean up the system. Therefore, better to prevent at the beginning. And these are some of the pictures which indicates how we are misusing the river tanks and waterways by means of sand mining, disposal or encroachment, disposal of plastic waste. It is not a Indian scenario. It is not only Indian scenario. Most of the developing nations are facing the same kind of scenario. Right. So, being adjunct faculty and some of the colleagues, they did it the climate change impact on the future projection, and based on the 6 models we have compared, and with the 6 members of ensembling running over the period of 1970 to 2100, 130 years. In each experiment were utilized to predict the possible near future, the baseline period, near future, and end of century. We have projected. That means 2005 to 25 is the base, the near future, the middle of the century, and this is the end of the century. So the projected maximum temperature from all the 6 models showed that there will be an increase in temperature of 2.54 to 4.4 degrees Celsius at the end of the century. And this is a projected result, got it from the result actually. Apart from that, the rainfall increase also there is observed from 15 to 25% in most of the Indian context actually. This is the temperature, the projected, as I said, the baseline period to the projected period, 2.54 to 4.4, and this is a rainfall pattern from increase from 15% to 25%. And this is the through the India and the climate change, the parameters, the impact of climate change on river basin level given by the Umesh and Vinu Kumar in 2018, and most of the Indus Valley will be occasional water problem, and western part of the Kongan belt is facing less or the occasional water shortage, and Brahmaputra basin like a northeastern will be facing, Maharashtra, Godavari will be less facing, whereas Tamil Nadu and may be facing water scarcity to absolute water scarcity. So if you see here, the Tamil Nadu is under the real threat actually. And if you talk about the climate change impact, the Krishna, Godavari, Ganga rivers are the maximum benefited river system, like in terms of rainfall increase or in terms of annual flow increase in the river actually. Now come back to South India, and along with IIT Madras and Tamil Nadu IITM and Tamil Nadu Agriculture University carried out a study to assess the likely rainfall scenario in mid-century using the climate model with the support of Norway and the government, and they used RCM and they brought down this to GCM level, and GCM was run by the International Pacific Research Centers in Hawaii, and with the 25 kilometer resolutions value by doubling the CO2 emission. That means what is the present condition of CO2 emission? If it is doubled, then what will be the future the rainfall pattern? The report says that this is the baseline scenario, and if you see here, the yellow patches will be almost 500 mm, and here in Tamil Nadu, most places will be yellow and orange. That means 200 to 500. But if you see here, Tamil Nadu is experiencing 500 to 700. That means there is an increasing in the rainfall trend will be experienced in the end of the century. And here is the see the western coast is highly benefited by the rainfall by the climate, the change actually. And this is the other thing, the end of century. Number of rainy days is reduced by half actually. For example, in baseline period, in a year, if you get a rainfall near 90 to 120 days, maybe at the end of the century, you will get only 45 days maximum. Within that, you have to conserve and you must utilize actually. Right? The other way, the intensity also changes actually. The intensity means mm per day. Initially, we had like 7 to 10 mm. Now it is going to 11 to 12 mm or 7 to 12 mm. There is increasing intensity of rainfall trend is also observed in the end of the century. So that means in Tamil Nadu, the east coast of the Tamil Nadu has a increasing trend, whereas west coast is a declining trend in terms of rainfall as well as the rain precipitation. So this is a summary of what I already said. Now, if we come to the Asia's the water availability. World population and 36% of world water is available, and see the demand in 2050, and the huge gap is existing in the population versus supply is one of the important indicators one has to think over how to manage the water supply to meet the entire people without any the deficit actually. So therefore, the water management becoming as an important commodity. So it is basically it is a active planning, developing, right. So planning, development, distributing, and managing the optimum use of water resources is the important commodity. Whereas it is not that much easy, because any water management involves the physical science and social science and basic science. Like that means you required interdisciplinary people to make a decision, like geographists, geologists, economists, social scientists, physics, chemistry, biology. So bringing everybody together and addressing the issue is the biggest task. That's what in the recent days they renamed as a IWRM concept, which is called as the Integrated Water Management concept. And water management has a different dimensions. It is you must address water resource management in terms of equity, efficiency, sustainability, legitimacy, accountability, subsidiary, and participatory. So these are the different dimensions generally the water resource management has, and you must address all these issues actually. Then coming back to the some of the management measures and the shifting thinking is required to manage the water resource management towards a simple water management to the sustainable management. And as I said, that the concept of IWRM, integrated water resource management, need to be inculcated or introduced in the water management practice. Then the blue-green water concept must be taught to all levels for conserving water, and surface water management, water management, wastewater resource reuse is the future. It is order of the day. You cannot escape from this. And if you are not doing the proper management of the above items, then the stormwater management. And the new principle, right? The new principle of sustainable water management, the planning is the to identify and meet the basic human needs of the ecosystem. One has to do it, as you have to keep it as a basic in terms of food security and self-reliance actually. So water must be treated as an economic good. Then only you can meet all this about 2 points actually. So said that to address all this issue, the IWM concept is the recent the concept which is called the normative concept. It is ideal concept, but bringing political, engineering, and social science, economics, and environmental peoples together to make the better the triangle or better water management system to develop. So the policy, legal regulations, aquifer, river basins, central and local assessment information, so many things is coming to picture. So the IWM is the recently practiced concept for water management. Then the blue-green water is the other concept, and what are the precipitation takes place. And generally, 65% goes as a evaporation and evapotranspiration, 35% goes as a runoff. And we cannot do anything on this apart from constructing the check dam and dam and reservoirs and other things. But you can conserve some percentage of water in the green water actually, which goes to as a atmosphere in terms of through the green covers in terms of evapotranspiration. So if we try to change, the land use pattern, sorry, the agriculture pattern practice, the change of cropping pattern from high intensity, high consuming the crop to low water consuming crop, then you can conserve at least 5% of water in the green water, which is huge savings for the entire globe actually, for the entire globe. So the conserving is in terms of changing cropping pattern will play some important role in terms of the water management actually of any river basin or for any country. Then the way to manage water actually, right? So surface water management, if you see here, the dynasty in 2008, they developed the suitable locations for artificial recharge throughout Tamil Nadu, and these are the green patches are highly useful for recharging. So like these kind of maps one should have, and to whenever the rainfall takes place, you must try to recharge and conserve and recharge and improve surface water as well as groundwater potential, so that you can make your waters more sustainable and for the during the drought period. And this is one of the contribution did by IRS from as academic point of view. And if you see here, the right side image is the Ramanathapuram block image, and the blue colors are the small Uranis or lakes. And if you, even a small block has so many Uranis in the chain, and it's like cascade. And think about entire Tamil Nadu, right, or entire South India. In entire Tamil Nadu, we have 39,000 tanks, and we use these tanks properly, and we never face water scarcity at all. And these are the one of the indigenous, the geographical feature which the South India has. Nowhere in the world this kind of the cascade of tanks are available in any part of the world actually. So we must be thankful to the God that they are given, but only thing is we have to use it properly to conserve the rainwater whenever it takes place actually. Right, I'll come back to the Urani later actually. So this is the water management system, and you can whatever the water you use it from surface, you just store in the ground, and you can use it store in the ground system, and whenever you want, you can tap it and you can use it. I have how much time I have, Dr.
No issue, sir. You can.
Okay, right.
You can.
Right. Now, these are the some of the traditional rainwater harvesting methods practiced in India. The zinc, it is in Himachal region, and the Kul, Himachal Pradesh. And like that, we have Uttar Pradesh. For each portions are Nagaland, Zabo. So in each place of each part of the country, they are practicing rainwater harvesting in different names. For example, if you talk about Tamil Nadu, it is the Aryan Urani. And in case of Kerala, it is a Swarnam. In Gujarat and Rajasthan, it is Gunds actually. So like this, so it is being in practice in across the country, but we are not aware what actually it means. And just Google it, you'll get the beautiful image of each one actually. Now, water harvesting method is generally depends on the rainfall intensity, land use, soil type, and volume of water, how much you can conserve, and area available for storage. These are all this is the land use map, and this is the soil map. And one has to understand how much soil infiltrate, runoff will generate, how many storage structures are available, how much you can store, or the excess water can be stored nearby. Those kind of activities you can take actually. And when it comes to the groundwater management, we have artificial recharge, groundwater protection zone management, and subsurface reactive barriers concept, and pump and treat injection system. These are the management strategies actually. And in case of artificial recharge, you can improve the water quality in terms of injecting the treated wastewater, and you can dilute, or you can allow, you can push the salt water into the ocean and prevent the seawater erosion in terms of injection. Then the groundwater protection. If you have this kind of map, the zonation map for any by the planner, and you must allow the green patches for the agriculture, and the last brown color for the development for construction area, because these are the areas has a less infiltration or less poor in recharge. There you can construct, whereas the green patches are the good in infiltration or recharge area. There you are not supposed to propose any industries or any construction instead of the practicing agriculture actually. So what we do, or most of the practice in India, is that we are doing reverse. We construct here, we say that our plot has a more groundwater potential, and something that you can see so many advertisements. but we try to recharge here, which is other way, right? Which is other way. This is the thing. Then coming back to the wastewater reuse is the option. As I said that if you are not doing the above the rainwater harvesting properly, there is no other go. We have to depend on the technology and use it, because the world want to push the technology to the consumer, and they want to make the addict, make the public addict. So if you are not following the traditional practice, then you must also fall in the line. So this first you have to do the wastewater reuse. First find out the source, treatment, distribution, use it, again collect it, treat it, and it becomes source. So this is a cycle, urban cycle. So you have to use it actually, right? Maybe I just see that whether this video is playing. Is it coming?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Video is visible?
No, sir, it is not visible. Sir, if you stop sharing that, I think the video will
Stop share. And while sharing, the bottom two that rectangle boxes, we need to click that boxes also for audio.
Now is it visible?
That
No,
is-
sir. Only the PPT is
slide
visible.
is.
No? No.
No, sir, you have to completely
are-
close this PPT, sir. Then only we can see the video.
You can give stop share. And then after take to
There's no stop, right?
yeah. Then start share. In the bottom two box will be where you need to click.
Sorry, it is not coming. I don't know.
Or you can take the video in the desktop.
No, but
What's the name of the video, sir?
hyperlinked, maybe.
Oh, you hyperlink. In the slide itself, you are given a hyperlink, right?
Must be here. Okay. Right. Anyway, the next video
Okay.
maybe I can play. Right. This other video.
Okay.
Is it visible now?
Play it, sir.
Pardon?
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
you
you have
can-
to play it.
Okay. So this is the Israel technology, and being.
We recycle 85% of
But
Sir,
it is
but
not
we
visible.
couldn't,
Pardon?
we
It is
couldn't
not
view the
visible,
results.
sir.
Yeah,
It
it's
is not visible. You have to share the entire screen, sir, not the particular
No.
window.
Can you see my board? Where is
Yeah,
it?
with the entire, that's the thing.
This is a screen. And now?
Now
it's
it's
visible.
coming.
Yeah, okay. It is a water saving technology in Israel.
We recycle 85% of the wastewater, which makes us a world leader in water reclamation. We can create this agriculture to the south of our country with the water that's coming from this wastewater is so important and critical for us. Arid, semi-arid region. We have to use the resources of wastewater for irrigation. To take the wastewater from our homes, to bring it to wastewater treatment plants, we use 80 to 85% of our domestic wastewater for irrigation and agriculture. This is the highest number you can find in the world. We're collecting the wastewater from 2.5 million people in that region, the center of Israel. We're bringing it to the Shafnan, one of the world's largest water reclamation plants, and we recycle 99.8% of the wastewater back to the level of potable water that you can actually drink, shower, or use it for the agriculture as we do. We collect the wastewater through big pipes. They're coming here. We take out the solids, recycle it, and then the wastewater, we insert microorganisms. The microorganisms are digesting the organic material and purifying the water.
At this moment, we got effluent, very good quality, but for limited irrigation. Here, it's a recharge basin. We collect all the effluent and we charge it to the ground. This technology is very unique and developed here in Israel. And at the end of the year, we recharge this water of any kind of crops in the south of our country.
We believe that the experience gained in Israel and the different directions of being more efficient in water use, saving water, and producing water from new resources can be shared in many regions in the world.
Right. So
Yes.
now my PPT is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So there is a SIST technology, and see the annual average in Israel is less than 400 mm actually. So when they are capable of doing all these things, but why not other countries also, right? So they are the pioneer because they want water actually. They buy it from nearby countries as wastewater as a source, and they treat it and they use it actually. They treat and use it. Whereas we have 1,200 mm of rainfall, which is 3 times higher than the Israel rainfall. So we must be thank to God that we failed to only manage the system actually, a water harvesting system. And this is one of the river lake in Hyderabad used for the urban treated wastewater is used for the within the center of the lake, and the people are doing the boating and other recreational purposes are being used, and it is order of the day. And the top 10 in water management techniques are the strategic option, which says that to have a better water management practice, first you have to meter or you have to account it, then optimize its cooling tower. Wherever use it for cooling the plants, you must optimize. Then upgrade the sanitary fixtures to consume less water and eliminate a single pass cooling. Don't allow the water to exit from any industries from a single usage. They have to use multiple, right? They have to do multiple process, then only they have to let it out. Incorporate landscape irrigation and reduce steam sterilized tampering water. Again, it is almost similar to the eliminate single pass cooling, and reuse culture must be in practice, and control reverse osmosis system operation. So we must we should have a good RO system membrane technology, so that we will minimize the RO reject from the water plant actually. Now, as of now, we have 40 to 60% as a reject. We should have a 90% water purified and 10% reject. Then that is a good RO system. And recovery of water, as I said, that again the rainwater will be coming into picture. Then finally, the recovery of air handler, the condensate. So the recent days we have talked about some people's they're condensing the air moisture, they're converting in terms of water actually as a droplet. These are the management. Of course, you do whatever may be the things except the rainwater harvesting, everything will have the different impact actually, which is against the nature actually. So this is a metering, the metering advantage. You just meter it, and basically you have a sensor. The sensor will tell you soil moisture. Once the soil moisture reduced, the irrigation will start. Otherwise, you flood it and you unnecessarily you make irrigation. That is the basic concept of meter usage and the consumption actually. Then the optimized cooling tower. In those days we had a wooden, the kind of the wooden or concrete the based cooling towers, which consumes a lot of leakage and other things. Now we have a compost materials cooling towers, which can be consumed less water in terms of cooling and other purposes actually. Then the sanitary upgrades. You see, maybe in the recent days, almost most of the accessories are giving nearly 40 to 100% savings of water. Let us say water tap, 10 liter to 6 liter per minute is the efficient. So like this, the technology increases, we must also go with the technology. Only thing is you have to pay for the technology. And one of our alumni from MIT, his name is Arun, he has developed a nozzle which converts a single droplet of water into n number of droplet of water. Basically, the concept is to bifurcate a single droplet of water to n number of droplets, so that a small particles will be falling on the hand before you can wash very freely. So what actually the hand requires is the wetting. For wetting, you need not have a bigger droplet. Only small droplet is sufficient, like your the sanitizer machines. You will show your hand on the sanitizer machine, which will sprinkle. So that is sufficient. So rather than pouring on the hand and washing the or wiping the hand. So there is one of the invention, and he proved that it is a 90% saving. Now you can see most of the hotels are using this kind of technologies actually. Recently, maybe 2000, it has been patented. And eliminate single pass cooling, and you must do lot of repeat the cooling process several times and let it down. And the incorporated land use practice is one of the best practice which is Sathyabama is following. And we collect all the wastewater, and we have a treatment plant near our environmental department. We have the dedicated faculty who is dedicated to treat the water in terms of maintaining the quality and other things, and they ensure that the water quality is being treated to the at least the agriculture standard. And most of the gardens, all the gardens in the campus is irrigated only by the treated wastewater actually. Of course, in a couple of years back, Saravanan temple in Trichy, the entire lawn within the temple itself, the gardens and flowers are grown only by the treated wastewater which is generated within the premises, and that flower only they are taking to the god actually. And maybe just Google it, you will get the video. Then the reduced sterilizing temperature uses, as I already said that you must use some kind of advanced technological instruments to minimize water. Of course, you can save 30 to 40% actually. Then the reuse culture, as I already said that you must collect water from the restroom, toilets, and cafeteria, treat it and filter it, use it for toilet and flush it. And the recent days, most of the CMD authorities are giving permission for the buildings. You must have a dual pipeline system. One is for your domestic purpose. The other one is for the flushing and the urinals and wherever the physical touch of water is not available or is not ensured. There you can use the treated wastewater actually. So they're insisting dual pipeline system in most of the apartments actually. And as I said that you must have a good RO system, a membrane and system to minimize the RO reject, because the RO reject is the brain and it has a lot of impact on the wherever you dispose it actually. And recovery of water from the rooftop is again, you just collect, these are if you talk about the Karakudi and some of Chettinad in Tamil Nadu, is the best the place to make it as a model for rainwater harvesting. Even from France and Germany, lot of scholars are coming, research scholars are coming, and they're doing research on the rainwater harvesting practice, which is being practiced maybe over a period of time in Karakudi, Chettinad houses actually. So if you try to harvest the water from roof and wherever is possible, store it at the ground and use it whenever you want. And even Sivakumar from Bangalore, I think he's a pioneer in rainwater harvesting. Is a known friend of me, and he made the entire house. His house is he's depending only on the rainwater for the throughout 365 days in his house actually. If you are not doing this, and we also have a recent technology, rain saucer, and all parkings you must, instead of having the umbrella like reverse, it is like instead of protecting from the sun, you make it like this, and this is protected from sun as well as it receives water and collect the water and use it for the garden. This is called the rain saucer, and it is being currently used in most of the developed nation for lawns and gardens, and certain extent to the other demand. And you need not irrigate; it automatically takes care actually. And again, this other kind of you can collect and use it, and you can use it actually. And in 2000, the Richardson, he's one of the person who invented or not invented. He proved that world that the bottling of water need not be always from extracting water from ground. He proved that the bottling water business can also be done by harvesting rainwater from the roof. Like as I said, that the rain saucer, he harvested in 1,000 square feet of his land or from rooftop with a 3 cm rainfall of 2,000 liters, and made it as a mild treatment like UV treatment and reverse osmosis before packing, and he made it as a wonderful potable water, and is the most wanted or most preferred water because it's a virgin water. There is no contamination because it was just collected from the atmosphere after a few hours. So which is the most preferred or demanding water. And if you talk about the one, the fact, each 500 ml of liter of water consists of 53,300 droplets of droplets available within this water bottle actually. And if you say that, and you can save so much of water even in a small area of 1,000 square feet. And we did a study from Center for Water Resources as a consultancy towards the government of, this is project towards the government of Tamil Nadu in collaboration with the Rural Development Tamil Nadu, Center for Water Resources, the Center for Environmental Studies, and Dawn Foundation in 2002, jointly implemented as a surface water management program in collaboration with the German government. And we took a small Urani, a small lake nearby the Kanjivaram district, and which is called a block. It is a Edayur Urani. And then we estimate demand per year is only for drinking purpose actually. 2,400 million meter per year is a demand projected with a population of 100 peoples, and the LPCD of given 25 LPCD only for drinking. And this is the before regeneration of the Urani. And we did an estimation domestic operational seepage loss, and where annual demand is so much, we took only 9-month demand because the other 3-month demand will be met from the directly from rainfall. So if you design for this condition, which is over design, so we made it as optimal design based on the 9 months, excluding the monsoon season. And we did engineering survey to capacity for as well as the catchment delineation. And this is the Urani, and found out the catchments, but GPS and contours we did it. And this is the agricultural land, and we recommend for fencing to prevent from illegal activities. And we also did a department analysis. These are the current numbers. And we did a simulation. At the end of the 9th month, our demand is 2,400 meter cube per year. But our design says that the size we are recommending, the Urani recommending is at the end of the 9th month, we will have 2,864 meter cube per year of water actually. So which means that our design is safe, and throughout the year period of time, including operation seepage loss, the people can drink 25 liters per day comfortably for the entire period actually. And this is a design we have proposed for the plan view, and this is the cross section. And we also have a well nearby, and the water received in the tank will be filtered with a horizontal filter medium. They can use it, pump it from the well, and they can draw the water. This is before renovation. This is after renovation. He is a Walter from German. He is a former director, and from CWR. This is a tank for trapping the silt actually. Silt, and you can see this is a horizontal filter arrangement. As I said, that the water will enter here, the filter will filter the water. The public will allow to take water only from here. We recommend fencing through the tank. Then after rain, we took a photograph, and this is a silt.
Sir, slide is not moving, sir. Slide is not moving.
In which slide you are?
The US bottles.
Bottles, rainwater harvested. In that, I think you have given a hyperlink, I think so, RWH Urani. And then after that slide is, we thought maybe video maybe is not. US water bottles. That slide is there.
Illa sir, Urani patti varala.
Oh,
Slide is not moving. Slide or video,
yeah, yeah.
sir?
Now,
No,
Yes, yes.
demand estimation.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
this is what,
Yeah,
this is,
yeah,
this is
yes.
what I'm
Now
back
only,
into.
now only it's coming.
Yeah,
Quickly,
this is
you
what
can,
this is
you
what I'm
can go
back.
through that. Yeah.
Yeah, the Urani saw jointly by Government of Tamil Nadu, CSCWR and Dawn Foundation. And basically we designed it. We took a small Urani in Kanjipuram district near the Chengalpet. We estimated the total demand of the village is 3,000 something, and for 9 months demand is 2,400 meter cube per year. And this is before renovation, right? So we took only 9 months because the rest of 3 months will be in monsoon period. At the same design will take care of the water demand. And we did engineering survey. This is for the tank and the contours we obtained from GPS. We demarcated the contributing area, and then this is a different land use. We recommended fencing for these areas to avoid the illegal activities. And we did also simulation for including inflow, storage, evaporation, all other losses. At the end of the 9th month, our tank will have 2,800 meter cube of water, whereas our requirement is only 2,400 meter cube. Therefore, our design is very safe. This is a top view, and this is a cross-sectional view of the dam. This is before renovation. This is after renovation, and this is Walter German from CES and the former director of Farmeham. And this is an infiltration well, which collect the water, which infiltration trench, where the water will enter, and via horizontal filter, the water will be collected in the well. The public is allowed to fetch from here. This after rain, this is a silt we have trapped, and it need to be cleaned periodically. And this after rain, you can see it's like a small swimming pool is available, and it's a long view. And this is a short means inlet to the tank, and the publics are allowed to take the water from the tank, which is or the well which is constructed nearby the tank bund. So this is some of the photograph, right, of the tank. So this is the overall view, and it's almost like a big swimming pool is look like, and it is a model pilot project, and most of the prestigious project for the Tamil Nadu R&D department, rural development department. They call it as a pride project for us. Of course, we are part of that actually. And when you say that, yes, one tank, they contribute so much to the village, and we have 39,000 tanks. And as I said that, you can do a lot of wonder in Tamil Nadu actually, right? Now it is back to the
US farm bottles.
US farm, right? Okay. So this is a farm order. Then the recovery of handlers already said that air handling is nothing but you must what do you call, conserve or absorb the water which is available in the atmosphere in terms of cooling towers, and which is against the nature actually. I can I can tell you that for want of time you can do it, but it is not a good practice as far as hydrology cycle is concerned. You are imbalanced the hydrology cycle. And some of the case studies are listed. Urani case study is already completed. This is the Mahendra city, the case study. I don't know it is. Can you see the
coming, sir?
Coming, right? So this is a wastewater management we did from Center for Water Resources. This is a Mahendra city. It is a NH45. NH45. And the blue colors are the blue colors are the water bodies, near 9 water bodies available. They want to develop a industries, IT parks, and we have given a wastewater disposal plan. And this is the lakes across around the Chengalpet, and they want to develop in all the blue and purple and orange colors. And these are the reserve forests available on the highway land near Chengalpet, before Chengalpet. And these are different zones which is coming into the. We did a contour survey, and these are small hills are available within the Mahendra city, and we did a contour, and we divided 5 zones for wastewater management, and all the wastewater generated here will be collected and stored and pumped into the highest peak point. From there, we will irrigate to the zone 1 first day, zone 3 second day, zone 5 third day, then zone 2 4th day, zone 4 5th day. So we leave one zone as a gap for irrigation, then therefore the water will irrigate will not seep into the next zone actually. So when you come into the next zone, so zone 1 for irrigation, and it takes a week actually. So by that way, the wastewater generated within the campus is being managed effectively for the garden development, landscaping purpose actually. Some of the photographs we took before doing the survey. Right, this is the Mahendra city, and this is during construction. Now almost end of the construction, and maybe this is the lush landscape. You can see the entire Mahendra city is all its gardens are based on the effective water management of water which is being collected and treated and reused within the city itself. Actually, now it is back to the case study.
Yes, sir. Coming.
So then wastewater irrigation system is one of the important, it is being practiced in Madurai, which is called the French drainage system, and where the most of the wastewater generated in the urban wastewater is collected, and it is stored, and it is pumped into the urban agriculture, and they have a system called a French drainage system, and I'll show you. This is a French drainage system. What are the wastewater generated here? They will dispose here, and the plants will uptake all the nutrients, and only the treated water will come in here, and this water will be available for the agriculture activities as well. So agriculture activities as well as fish culture and so many other practices as well. So this drainage practice is developed by French almost 90 years back, 70 years back, and top you have sand and pebbles and things like that. This is almost like a filter they designed more than 90 years back. Still it is working perfectly. So these kind of techniques are required across the urban centers to effectively manage the urban the wastewater reuse. Right. So then the bubble technology is one of the commendable work I did by some of my agriculture students. The water savings by hydroponics bubble technology for the conservation. Basically, it is to conserve the urban wastewater for urban agriculture. And what is lagging in urban wastewater is nothing but the DO is only the lagging. Whereas you have BOD, the DO is the lagging. Once you try to improve the DO in urban agriculture, urban wastewater, and you can do a wonder. For which we adopted bubble technology, and we did it. And this is a bubble technology. What actually does is that the plant will be grown on the top, and the roots will be developed, and the water will not be touching the roots. Instead, it will be available a certain level below. The aerator will be available. Aerator will generate the bubble. The bubble will be micro bubbles will burst, and only the moisture will touch the root actually. Root, by that way, the roots will get the water, and the plant will take space actually. We did it for the urban agriculture and the plant area. The methodology I'll show you. We took the water from the Sathyabama treatment plant for bucket porous phase. We took a fresh water and wastewater, and we did the combination of all these things, and found that this is a tray planted, and different the vegetables they have grown is a nursery and transplanted, and we also did a water quality analysis, and this is all the parameters. Everything is except DO is all in the limit. The water consumption conservation setups are also there. So this is the setup actually, the whole setup. At the end of the 15th day, 5th day, and doing harvest. If you see here, this is the freshwater harvested spinach, wastewater spinach. This is a lady's finger, and you can see the plant growth is much superior, and yield is more in the wastewater actually. So we have a lot of duty in the wastewater. Only thing is the DO is less actually. To improve the DO, we are introducing bubble technology. The bubble will generate and will re-aerate the water. And in terms of re-aerating, which will supply the fresh water into the root zone. By that way, you can get the good water potential. And these are some of the comparison, which is highly technical. We have published. Almost we have conserved nearly 40 to 50% of water from this thing actually, right? So if you take a parameter, public and freshwater, wastewater, and the cost for setup is roughly for 4,000 per setup actually, right? So we can conserve nearly DO is improved from 15 to 20%, and water being harvested. Then I will end up with the last case study, which is a L&D Eden Park, is a part of our consultants work, and it is a stormwater management actually. We did a feasibility study for conservation of flood discharge or rainfall runoff water which is generated within the Eden Park of South City of L&D, and we have proposed this L&D, and these are the catchments of the proposed L&D infrastructure. There is a housing unit they want to develop, and we did a catchment length and so many other surveys, and we estimated the area, total volume of water available for each subs are available, and we recommended the conservation success like recharge well, pit, recharge shaft, and drainage tanks, and so many things. These are the points we recommended within the Eden Park to harvest the water, and these are sumps, and we harvest and they store it and they pump it back to the system actually. These are the recommended the infiltration techniques we recommended. These are trench. Along the trench you'll have the infiltration and so on. So finally, the net quantity of the water being recharged runoff in a total is 355 meter cube per day will be recharged. Almost total runoff, total recharge. If you see here, nearly the reasonable amount of water is being recharged actually. So with this, I will coming to the conclusion. Not only our means the general practice are sufficient to manage the water. The engineering approach is highly useful for managing the water in the recent days actually. So if you say you must have a system accountability in terms of how much water you can you are going to get it, and DSS decision support system is highly required, and smart distribution of water is required in terms of minimizing the demand supply gap in terms of simulation optimization, and in through your recent technology called remote sensing automations or AI based irrigations or water supply distributions. And then conventional techniques called rainwater harvesting, Urani, and tanks and IWR concept. If you don't do this conservation techniques based on conventional, you must depend only on the technical background. So the advanced membrane again is the technical. So basically you need to have a water footprint to have the better water management actually. So not only human required rest to replenish or refresh their body, but earth also requires sometimes rest to recycle or to replenish the hydrological cycle on its own way to behave. So with this slide, I will stop my presentation. I think I have taken 15-20 minutes extra. Sorry for the late. Thank you all.
But it is very wonderful, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. The session is now open for queries.
If there is no queries, actually, I just want to interact with sir.
Later I am.
Yes, sir. I think for now there are no queries in chat box.
Okay. Actually, before interacting with Saravanan sir, actually, I just want to say that it is very wonderful, sir. Actually, you have you have given everything in a nutshell.
Real eye-opening.
So with the case study, even I got 2-3 ideas. Actually, I am not at all into water research. I am a pure marine biologist. Even I have some idea. Even I want to implement the same in our university with Bhagyalakshmi ma'am. That's what that's what it came to my mind. And thanks for the beautiful presentation. It's very informative also. Not only beautiful, it's very informative. And actually, I just this is not a question, sir. Actually, it is a demand. Actually, I'm locating near the Perimbakam. Actually, I'm living in the Celestine apartments.
Yeah.
It's a gated community.
Yeah.
Actually, we have a problem of water. Actually, when I purchased the flat, actually, we have some 8 bores, and entire bore we will get only saline water. But once I was being in the committee, the association, I just, with the help of one of our scientists here, and I just made some rainwater harvest system. Maybe now the saline water it become a fresh water, and we are not purchasing water from the lorry. So this is the case happening in my apartment, being in a rural area. But this practice actually it is there in our Tamil Nadu. Actually, I think when some days, some 5 to 6 years back, we all have a rainwater harvest system. But government insists to have a rainwater harvest system in all our home. But now every home become an apartment, and some of the apartments are following that. As you show some of the case studies in Karaikudi and all, those Chettiar people, they have a separate home and they have a large area. But we in this kind of a city environment, we don't have such kind of space. And what is your advice on that, sir? So which we have implemented, that is the one solution. Other thing, what we can do, whether a government is practicing anything on that thing.
Yeah, but there is the law groundwater rainwater harvesting policies already in practice actually. In 2000, when then late Chief Minister Jayalalitha was the CM, and she made as a mandate that if your house is not connected with the rainwater harvest system, your sewer system will be disconnected, and you'll be in trouble, and electricity will be disconnected. So she made it actually for a few cases actually. Then everybody started harvesting. As you said that you are the example, even a single plat, you are able to make a small difference within your gated community. It is actually the rainwater harvest is not an individual business. It is the public business, or it is a people business actually. As long as the people are not, see, if it is coming to your, as long as your the waste is not in your house, you will never bother about. If it is coming to your house, then only bother about. The same way, the drought is coming to our place, then we think about. So as long as we are not getting drought or scarcity, and then we never think about. But there are technologies. But of course, in the future, it is going to be a really challenging one, and a lot of the industries will be coming to picture. And for your information, the Tamil Nadu and India are not far away from the technology. If you travel to Singapore, Europe, especially in Israel and Singapore, you must drink only the treated wastewater actually, right? Unknowingly or unknowingly, but it is called the new water actually. It is called new water. So we should not be forced to go in that situation, because we are highly benefited with the natural resource called rainfall. We must be judicially to harvest or manage those resources before getting into the trap of the corporate sector, like treatment and the drinking. So that is my advice actually, right? That is my advice. And so it is feasible. It is feasible. The government is taking a lot of steps on harvesting water and things. The only thing is, you must promote industries which is less consuming and which is most wanted for the economic development as well as the livelihood security. And for luxury items, it should be given second thinking. That's what my main purpose, my main concern actually.
Sir, Inbakandan, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So see, all the apartments, the high-fi sophisticated apartments, the plan itself, as per the CMDA rule, plan itself, we need to provide some space for that green landscaping in that areas and all. We need to concentrate, like sir, one of the slides shows that reverse umbrella concept. So how much, whatever the possible way, we need to harvest the rain using that green patches.
Yes, ma'am. I accept your point of view. As well as sir said, it is the individual thing. Actually, when it come to my apartment, we did that. But though it is in the policy and it is in the legal framework.
Sir, another one thing you said, Perumbakam, sir, it's an interesting place. During the year 2012-13, I have conducted a study for my doctoral research work. I have taken this study area, Tambaram surrounding villages. Perumbakam is one of very good village, located very near to that hill, one hill. Lot of lake, ponds, small water bodies are there. Many water packaged industries are located to use that water. So many industries, they are just like that extracting. See, water under the ground, this is a common property resource, but those who are well off, I can take any 1,000 feet or 2,000 feet borewell, I can extract, I can do the business. It's a private business. And then the reject water, you know very well. that is science people. So the reject water is the nature and the quality of reject water without any thing, just like that. So because of this, the reason only this entire environment related the area is getting saline. So while conducting my social survey, the people used to tell some 20 years before, we are using that our groundwater for milk boiling or all the cooking work. Now we can't use our groundwater as such.
Exactly.
Because of this unscientific way of dealing with technology, it also causes this.
Thank you. Thank you so much. There are no questions. I thank.
Sir, one more question, sir. Sorry, sir. One more question. Actually, the another technology you said about the bubble technology, bubble top technology
Yes,
for that.
yes.
Bubble technology.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I just want to know the cost of that. You shown the slide, but I just want to have a. Again, I need some highlight from you, sir.
Yeah, but see, basically, the plant required not the pouring. The plant never requires. You need to pour the water on the plant or on the root actually, right? So the plant actually required the moisture for its growth actually.
Okay.
So the moisture can be only fed by the small droplets, which is we have to create actually, which we have to create. And basically, this is a project did by my agriculture by students for urban agriculture activities like day-to-day the harvest like tomato and other things. And we had a good results, and we also
Sir,
had a good.
For that, we require aerated system, right,
But
sir?
yeah, you
For
have to
aeration.
you have to generate a bubble. So that is like your fish tank, right? Fish tank.
Exactly. Got it, sir. Got it, sir.
But there are two technologies: macro bubble and micro bubble. What we generated is a micro bubble. So there is a specification for generating micro bubble, and if you generate micro bubble, the water concentration will be more.
Okay.
Right, and right, because a small droplet you are making, that is sufficient for the plant growth.
Okay.
Right, that is sufficient. So basically, wetting the root actually, wetting the root.
Okay.
Right. So wetting the root. So the wetting the root required a minimum droplet of water rather than the bigger droplet of water actually. So that is a concept. And like a nozzle, I said no nozzle, water droplet, right? So the same concept. It is a reverse way, which is below the tank that we made it, and it is a maybe you can try for other cases.
So that's what, sir. Actually, if we want to make a prototype of the same thing here, actually, we will actually with ma'am we will come and contact you.
We will discuss.
Yes,
We will
sure,
discuss.
Right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Saravanan sir, one more thing. Sir,
Please.
Slide that model projection, climate that model projection, we are telling rainfall is increasing, intensity is increasing, and then one of the slides shows the rainy days is decreasing.
Yeah.
Is it so, sir? It indirectly is giving a threat. Rainy days is decreasing, intensity, everything is it's like a flash flood. This also we couldn't conserve water, though the rainfall is increasing. My interpretation is correct, sir.
Yeah, you are right. You are right. My last case study was on the flood, actually, urban flood, based on the what you said, flash flood. Amount of time that I skipped the case study. We did a case study of a 2015 flood for Chennai, and which is actually matching with the Chennai flood. And we did a study, and it is available as a last time case study. I said that amount of time that I'm skipping the case study, and as exactly said that by Dr. Bhaiya, and it is basically the quantity is available same. Let us say you take one bottle of water, you pour by drop, you can pour by 120 days. But instead, if you just pour it all sudden and will drop everything, the bottle will be empty within a day. Right? That is the phenomenon happening due to climate change. That's what I want to emphasize.
Yes.
Though the quantity is same, but it is falling within the short spell, which is called as a cloud burst actually. The phenomenon is called as a cloud burst, which is the worst phenomenon for any city for flooding. Right. Any other question, madam?
Sir, this is Dr. Mohan. Hello.
Yes, sir. Please tell me, sir.
Actually, I shared one question in my chat box.
I haven't seen.
Because Inbakandan knows me. I was a retired scientist from NCCR.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Welcome. I was not. I came to know just now.
Okay, sir.
10 minutes back only. This Zoom meeting. I just immediately after seeing that link.
You are NCCR. You are from NCCR.
Sir, NCCR, National Center for Coastal Research. I retired as scientist from there.
Right, tell me, sir. No issues.
Actually, I live in Chitalapakkam village, which is close to Perumbakam Lake.
Yes, sir.
The Boluni hillside point, it is 1.5 kilometer
Yeah,
from my
Bowling Hill.
house.
Yeah, Bowling Hill. Yeah, I know.
We have a bore well. I have a rainwater harvesting method of after filtering, then it will go into a 3 by 3 circular one tube well. Okay, the water has improved well over a period of 4 years, but still we have alkalinity of the water. We found calcium, magnesium in that. But is there any simple type of treatment available, cost-effective treatment available in the market, who can filter the water and we can use it directly for drinking? Because we don't go for the can water. Of course, we have a RO water, domestic RO water at home, the same groundwater which I connected. TDS comes to nearly 700 or 750 in that range only.
Okay.
Earlier it was 3-4 years back, it was 900 crossed it is.
Okay.
So I rechecked the last 6 months back. So the company has advised me to connect the RO water, which was ideal at home for my 4 years after I shift from Velacheri.
Okay, right. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
So I am looking for a system which could connect from the borewell water, either from the ore tank or from the borewell pump it down.
It is generally from overhead tanks actually, and if you have sufficient height, the pressure will be, for any RO system, the pressure is the important point to flush the particles.
Some cylinder type of market available,
but it requires pumping. They will have pump inside actually. They will have pump inside. Basically, the membrane will work based on the pressure flow. That means you have to force the water into the membrane, which will be a very small in diameter, which is nano diameter. So through that you have to push it, for which you should have the pressure head. It is generally to be achieved from the overhead tank or by the, if it is on the cylindrical setup, definitely they will have a inbuilt pump system actually.
Okay. Can you name some of the companies which supply the material and installation?
Right, sir.
Any ideas?
There are so many companies are available, but I have.
I'm not supposed. Sir, you can share your mail ID and the contact details.
Yes, sir. Privately, you can ask me, sir. I can tell you in the public forum.
Yeah.
Yes,
so I will send a mail, sir. Okay. I will
yes,
send
sir,
a mail.
Please. Thank you, sir. Is there any other question, sir?
Thank you.
I think there is no question, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Inbakandan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And nice to see you.
Yeah. So can I leave?
Saravanan sir, thanks a lot, sir. Actually, it's a very, again, I want to say that it's very informative.
Especially,
tell me, Bhuvneshwari.
Yes, especially in the verge of entering into scarcity of water, I think it was really a wake-up call for all of us in terms of pictorial representations and data and videos that you shared, and also the case studies and the methods and practices that can be employed to conserve water. It was really a great presentation, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Saravanan sir. Thank you, sir. Without any hesitation, immediately you are accepting our invitation. It's a very short period of time.
You are our CW alumni. I can't deny, right? Alumni and deny. And moreover, of course, you are former, you are founder of, and he was with us for a couple of years.
Our JPR, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the coursework, we know better. So, by the way, I had a lot of affection with the Sathyabama University.
He is a water resource person.
Thanks for the opportunities. As well as I also thank all the participants. Those are very calm and very active and raising the questions. And I see there are a lot of professors and learned faculty members and researchers are available in the group. I thank each and every one of you for spending valuable time in spite of the scheduled time. You are in the online. So thank you so much. And thank you one and all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Bhuvneshwari, please announce about the tomorrow's program.
Yes. Dear participants, kindly note that tomorrow's program is from 10:15 a.m., 25th of March, 2022. And our guest speaker would be Dr. Muthukumar Muthuchami, Professor and Head, Department of Environmental Science, School of Earth Science Systems, Central University of Kerala. And the details of the lecture is Sustainable Utilization of Water. And kindly note down the link. Meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhuvaneshwari.
Sorry,
Thank you,
Inbakandan
everyone.
sir,
Yes, ma'am.
for 6 days, you correctly divided. First 3 days for technically treatment, contaminations, everything. Remaining 3 days is base. So
Yes.
without realizing the base, so very well formulated, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Shall we
Shall we?
all?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Thank
Thank you.